Good evening. Y'all can hear me tonight. I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Wendell Town Board of Commissioners and welcome all of you that are here tonight and all of you who are watching and listening. We're going to be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Police Chief Bill Carter.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation tonight is going to be given through the Wendell Council of Churches by Errol Briggerman from Wendell Baptist Church. Good evening. It's so nice to see you in here again.
Good evening. Nice to be seen in here again. I have a couple of announcements I'd like to make.
You have the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. We are going to do our food drive this year. We're actually going to do it October 23rd, putting bags out and picking them up October 30th. And thank you to Harris Teeter, who gave me 3,000 bags.
Oh, wow.
So we need help. So I'm working on that right now. Our church is doing a vacation Bible school, kind of abbreviated one. I think Methodist is, and a couple of the others are. I just need to contact the churches. There's still time before school starts for some of the kids, but ours is August 20th to 22nd. It's just a 3-day, but it's, anyhow, keeps kids involved, you know. So anyhow, other than that, I think life's good. So let us pray. Lord, thank you for this opportunity that we have to pray in your honor. We just ask you, Lord, to watch over our board members for the decisions they have to make tonight. We ask you to watch over our city, our community, Lord. Keep us well. Keep this pandemic away from us. I just ask you, Lord, to just get rid of the pandemic. We just know, Lord, that's in your power. We just ask everyone to be safe, be courteous, be understanding, and be willing to do what has to be done to take care of this. We just pray all these things in your blessed name. Amen.
Amen. Do we have a motion to approve? Are there any adjustments to the agenda? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
All right, we have a motion to approve the agenda. Commissioner Boyette.
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner.
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnaski.
Aye.
Commissioner Deloach.
Aye.
And Commissioner Lutz.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. As always, the public comment process was provided tonight for either in person or advance of the meeting public comment that can be done on the Friday before every meeting, and no one took us up on it tonight. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay. We have a motion to approve. Commissioner Boyette.
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner.
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnaski.
Aye.
Commissioner Deloach.
Aye.
And Commissioner Lutz.
Aye.
Okay, and that passes unanimously. Item number 4 is recognitions, reports, and presentations. Introduction of new Public Works employees, and we're going to hear from Public Works Assistant Director Darrell Hales. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Commissioners. It's an honor and a privilege to be before you tonight to introduce our newest employees. I'm going to ask Kim Odin if she'll come up first. Ms. Kim is our newest employee. She's going to be our administrative assistant due to Ms. Donna requesting to go to part-time. She comes from us in the city of Raleigh as an admin assistant with the city of Raleigh. So we're glad to have her here. She's going to do marvelous things for us already. So, would you like to say anything?
Yes, first I'd like to say hello, everyone. I'm glad to have the opportunity to come to work with the Town of Wendell. I look forward to meeting everyone of you and possibly engaging in conversation at some point in time.
We're welcome. We're happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. And next we have our crew leader, Ernesto Gonzalez Santiago. Ernesto is our streets crew leader He's in charge of making sure the streets look pretty and the signs replaced. And he comes to us from years of service as a veteran of the U.S. Army and also military contract services. He's been with us about 2 months, 3 months. And we're glad to have him. So, unless you'd like to say anything.
Well, thank you for your service and welcome to Wendell. We're happy to have you. You're welcome. I think I've already passed you. I recognize you, yeah.
That's right, okay. This is the page line.
It's nice to see you.
And next we have Dakota Honeycutt. Dakota is actually a new employee, but he's also our newest crew lead. He's just been promoted to maintenance over building and grounds crew leader. Dakota comes from the town of Selma, where he did a lot of electrical work, a lot of building maintenance, and he has already proved his worth, so we're glad to have him.
Nice to be back, hometown, you know, that's what I'm here for.
We're happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Dean. Next we have Dean Whitford. He's a specialist 2 assigned to our stormwater section. He has experience with heavy equipment, trucks. Dean came from the private sector where he actually did stormwater work. So he's a very valuable asset to our crew. We're glad to have him.
It's nice to meet everybody. I look forward to a long career here with the town.
We're happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you.
And next we have Keela Lassiter. Keela comes to us from the big city of Benson. We actually recruited Keela from GFL to come to work with us to work with us on stormwater crew. She has a lot of experience with trucks, heavy equipment, so she's a major asset to our team as well. Would you like to say anything to
Thank you for the opportunity, town of Wendell.
We're thrilled to death to have you. So welcome.
And then we have Mario. Mario Diaz Dominguez. He comes to us to work in our street sections with Ernesto. He comes from the city of Cary, or town of Cary. He has a lot of experience with concrete, sidewalks, pavement, and as you can see across the road, Mario and Ernesto have been working hard the last 2 weeks on our sidewalk project. So we're glad to have him here as part of our crew as well. Not to say anything.
Thank you for having me. I hope to have a long time here, and I'm excited for you.
We're happy to have you. Welcome.
Thanks, sir. We have 2 other ones that were supposed to be introduced tonight. One of them is on vacation. The other one is sick. So fortunately, we have another employee starting in 2 weeks. So we're going to introduce him at a later date.
We'll do that at that time. I noticed that the things that you described check a lot of boxes. So
Yes, ma'am.
For us, that's great.
It's stuff that we have worked for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
We manage the columns, foresight and insight, and it's all coming together for us at Public Works.
It's great to hear.
And we've had a lot of people leave, a lot of people that have stepped down for one reason or the other, and it's just all coming together.
Well, that happens. That's
Yes,
okay. One door closes, another one opens. That's great.
Thank y'all a lot.
Thank you, Darryl. We have no public hearings tonight. So we will move to our administrative items, and the first is the appointment to the Town of Wendell Planning Board to fill one vacancy in the ETJ. And we're going to hear from Town Clerk Megan Howard.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Members of the board, bear with me just 1 second. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Okay. So today we're going to appoint an ETJ member to our planning board. Recruitment for the town of Wendell's citizen advisory boards began in March, and closed on July 23rd, 2021. To date, 40 applications have been received to fill 15 vacancies on our 5 citizen advisory boards. According to the town board rules of procedure, the citizen advisory board recruitment process is a voting process done by written ballot. Applicants must receive an affirmative vote from a majority of the board members present and voting to be appointed. Applicants received letters informing them of the appointment process and were encouraged to introduce themselves before tonight's meeting. The planning board has one vacancy available, an ETJ vacancy with a term lasting 2 years, with the term expiring June 30th, 2023. 3 applications have been received and were sent to the board prior to this meeting for review. Since then, we've received 1 resignation from the Parks and Recreation Commission from in-town member Luke Duggins. His partial term vacancy will be advertised for 30 days, and this item will be brought back to the board for appointment once applications have been received. So now I'm going to pass out the ballots, and we will take a vote. Commissioner Lutz, can you hold up your ballot for the camera, please? Thank you. All right, so Emma Gardner will be the recommendation to the Wake County Board of Commissioners for the ETJ vacancy, and I will see you guys in a month for the Parks and Recreation vacancy for an in-town 3-year vacancy.
Okay, thank you. All right, our next item, item 6B, is the text amendment to the Code of Ordinances to reflect downtown parking changes, and we're going to hear from the Assistant to the Manager, Stephanie Smith.
Good evening. I'm here tonight to bring some updated ordinance improvements based on the approved downtown improvements that the board made in late 2020. It includes, the improvements we made downtown included solid waste dumpster service, food truck policy, parking improvements. So we identified the Code of Ordinances needed some updates to reflect these changes. Updates to include language around enforcing the ability for golf cart parking, the spaces in front of the electric charging vehicle stations, and also to prohibit unattached trailers from being parked on roadways or streets. I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Are there no questions from the board? Commissioner Joyner?
Stephanie, can you, I don't remember previous conversations about trailers and campers and whatnot. Can you, is that a problem we've been experiencing?
In the downtown area, we have frequently had complaints about parking, particularly overnight, on streets in the downtown area, lengthy trailers that are not attached that prevents others from being able to park in those spaces. So we incorporated that language into the ordinance update.
Madam Mayor, just one more. So my second question was going to be, has the town attorney reviewed the language in red? I can certainly see in places where it's trying to achieve a goal, but, and I'll concede I'm no attorney, which is why I wanted to ask one. Some of the wording seems a little cumbersome, but I just want it from an enforceability standpoint, is what we have here going to be enforceable?
So we did a comparative analysis for language for other municipalities and how they use their, the language in their code. For this level of updates, we did not have the attorney review. review, we certainly would be happy to do that before officially codifying the updates, should the board choose to approve. Police Department did review and help draft the updates for the code as well.
So they had some input as far as enforcement,
Correct.
ability to enforce.
Mhm. Some of the wording actually came from the Police Department and their recommendations.
Okay. No other questions from the board? What's y'all's pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the text amendment to the Code of Ordinances to reflect downtown parking changes
Okay, and to adopt the ordinance?
and to adopt the ordinance.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the, text amendment request and adopt the ordinance. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, all in favor, Commissioner Boyette,
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner,
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnaski.
Aye.
Commissioner Deloge,
Aye.
and Commissioner Lutz.
Aye.
All right, thank y'all. Item 6C is the fiscal year 2022 Town of Wendell Street resurfacing project proposal for professional services. And we're going to hear from Superintendent Joseph Collins.
We might tag team this just a little bit. Sure. Because
Okay,
I
that's
changed
fine.
the presentation on them a little bit, so my apologies. You want to just be available for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Technical backup. Thanks, Joe.
No problem.
So the request is to approve the task service agreement, task order 14 with Rivers Ravenel for FY '22 Town of Wendell resurfacing project. As a reminder, Withers Ravenel is the town engineer of record for such work and is subject to a previous agreed-to master agreement with the town. So this would be a task service agreement under that master agreement. What the task service agreement provides for is for project management of the FY '22 road program to include the pavement repair survey. This includes updating the prior pavement condition survey for the specific work to be completed within the program year, and gets into more detail and describes the actual work being done on each of the road sections. It's for preparing and administer the request for qualifications or request for proposals for the paving contractor and handling that process. Once the board approves the paving contractor, they'll handle all the punch lists and needed change orders within that contract, so they'll administer that contract for the town. They'll provide full-time inspection on site for all the work being done. They also handle any citizen concerns. There's a citizen feedback and response part of the program that they administer. And one of the goals of this year is to have that staff that's administered these contracts in the past work closely with the public works staff that you met tonight, so that our staff can in-house part of that moving forward, though we'll still need engineering assistance and services moving forward. We don't have a in-house engineering service like that. Just a reminder for the public of what's been presented to the board and in the budget. The town is responsible for approximately 33.4 miles of local roads. That's increasing with new development. This is not DOT state roads or private streets and alleys. The town's not responsible for those. Another increasing number is the average cost to resurface a street is between $35 and $42 a linear foot. The town pavement condition survey plans for currently about a 22-year schedule. Streets, when they work right, can last 25 to 30 years. Some more, some less. So this keeps us around the length of an expected life of a street. For a street to last that long without disrepair or bad use, it requires regular maintenance. And so our program really picks up regular maintenance. So in our fiscal year 21-22 budget, there's $573,000 for rehabilitation and replacement of street, $193,000 of the maintenance and repair, for a total of $766,000. So that's the funding currently in the budget to advance year one of the pavement condition survey. Beyond that, you probably have questions about timing, so I wanted to include something on timing. Within the contract survey, in talking to Withers, survey and estimations, they're currently working on that now and will be done shortly in August. The bid process, including contract administration, will start or finish somewhere in September. The road resurfacing, we're hoping to begin as early as late September to early October, but that's pending on agreed schedules and contracts with the yet to be selected contractor. Weather also plays an impact, as well as materials. And the preventive repair treatments, there's a limited number of plants that create that product, and they started preparing for this year's product many moons ago. So unless they have extra product and a contractor has that available that's selected, that's likely to get pushed to next spring, in next year, not next fiscal year, but for a calendar year for those plants, it would be their next year cycle of product. The cost estimate for the engineering and project management work is approximately $75,800. That's funded from the street program budget. If you'll notice, we have a crew lead instead of a streets program manager. So there's a savings in revenue there, because we anticipated having more administration done out of house instead of in-house. And then, of course, the board will get to approve the paving contract before that goes out. Any questions?
Any questions from the board for the manager?
And Joe, our Public Works Superintendent, who knows a lot about this, is here if you have any other questions from a Public Works standpoint on roads.
Do you have anything you want to add?
He had all the points I was going to say tonight, too. So.
Okay, because you were the person. Okay.
It's quite all right.
Okay.
Mark, at least in my memory, this is the first time that we've had a holistic resurfacing program, not like a back. Can you walk us through, now that we've adopted this program, what citizens should see moving forward year to year? And like what work they'll apt to see being completed, and also like what we can expect year to year as far as finances?
Yeah, so a normal process for a fully developed street condition survey is every 5 years you do a full pavement condition survey. That's updated annually with the more intensive survey. So sometimes projects have to be advanced or delayed depending on how the actual conditions of the road are weathering over time. So years 1 through 5 are there, and much like a capital improvement plan, are subject to change. Not all streets have full resurfacing. A lot of the times it's crack repairs and other minor repairs that much like on your house or some other investment around your home, you maintain and you keep things. You don't replace the whole roof. You might just do some patching of a roof on your house until you need to replace the roof. So, as I recall from Wither's presentation to the board, it's not a linear degradation of streets. It's geometric. So streets kind of hold their wear and tear for a number of years and then start dropping off quick towards the end of that life cycle. And so what the public will see is if their street is fairly functional, patching and filling of cracks for a number of years, but all streets will eventually reach the point that they have to be resurfaced. And so the major resurfacing, some streets might just be adding additional surface on, others might be grading down and having to rebuild base depending on the subsurface condition of street. It's very variable in Wendell at the moment, and so what this does do is it provides a recurring funding source that allows for every 22 years a street to be resurfaced and replaced on average. And so there's if it's not your year this year, your road has been looked at, it is in a schedule, and it will be done at the appropriate time to expend the public funds to do so.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, and I appreciate, I think Daryl said earlier, that they've been working a plan for 4 years to get them into the position where they are with resources. Certainly hope that we continue to stick to this plan. I think it's going to give us some long-term, both financial security as well as an understanding of where our streets are moving.
Yeah, Ernesto's position goes in to become the project manager for the streets program over time. Mario is actually an expert at concrete work, and so the sidewalk program and a lot of that work, he's an integral start of that crew. And there's plans even with our staffing analysis over the 10-year staffing plan to fully fill out that crew, so that more and more of the internal maintenance and repair work will be able to be done in-house, and just the larger resurfacing and new street projects will be outsourced. So all that's programmed in over time with the program that we kicked off with the adoption of, y'all adopting the budget this year. So thank you.
I'd like to make a motion.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Town of Wendell resurfacing project proposal for professional services for FY '22.
And authorize the town manager to execute the task order?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We have a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022 Town of Wendell Street resurfacing project, and the motion also is to authorize the town manager to execute task order 14. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, all in favor, Commissioner Boyette.
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner.
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnaski.
Aye.
Commissioner Deloach.
Aye.
And Commissioner Lutz.
Aye.
Thank
That
you.
passes unanimously. Item 6D is a decision to award a bid for construction of Landing View Drive extension.
This time my name is on the agenda. My apologies, Mayor.
That's okay. And we're going to hear from the town manager.
Well, Joe, do you want to handle this one? And
I'm not prepared for that one.
okay.
He's just so excited he can't help contain himself. Next time I'll let you go first.
So the board is asked to award a bid for the construction of the Landing View Drive extension to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, and authorize the town manager to sign the contract on behalf of the town, subject to approval of debt issuance by the LGC. The town began soliciting bids on June 25th, and as designed by town's architect and engineer firm, Gensler being our architect, and Stewart was the primary engineer for the road design. Cummings, our project manager, is project managing this in coordination with the Town Hall project, which adjoins this road. The pre-bid conference was held on July 7th. Sealed bids were collected by Cummings and opened Thursday, July 29th here at Town Hall. We received 3 responsive bidders. The lowest and responsible bidder was determined to be the Fred Smith Company with a bid to construct not the Town Hall, but the Landing View Drive at a cost, I wish the Town Hall project was that way. Yeah. But to construct Landing View Drive extension for $1,451,000. The construction estimate prepared earlier was $1.1 million. There were some changes from the initial design at budget time. So the 1.1's in the budget for additional utility work along to do a loop for the Town Hall project along Landing View Drive that loops the private development to 3rd Street, so water and sewer looping there. Additionally, there's stormwater costs. The road starts before Town Hall, so there's some prep on the drainage basin that needs to be done as part of this project that was going to be part of the Town Hall budget. So since this one is first, it has to meet erosion control requirements there. And frankly, much like the Town Hall, there's a lot of material uncertainty for guaranteeing bids for 90 days. The bid cost is valid for 90 days, and a contract would be negotiated following value engineering completed by Cummings. So Cummings is working with them now pending approval tonight. And also the project, of course, is pending the approval of debt issuance from LGC. Much like Town Hall, this would have an anticipated notice to commence in October, and that would start off sooner than the Town Hall project to start getting going to have the road roughed in before the Town Hall project formally starts. Just a reminder of what this project is. There's a long-standing strategic initiative passed in current board to build a second entrance into Wendell Park. This road accomplishes that second entrance. So from a public safety and transportation standpoint, this is a big improvement to that area. In doing so, it provides for stormwater, sidewalks, utility extensions, and street lighting from the new development to the end of 3rd. So it's going to be a new road improvement within an older part of town that also helps provide access to the park and the new Town Hall. I'm happy to take any questions on this item.
Any questions from the board?
Madam Mayor, I have a motion if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Make a motion to award the bid for the construction of the Landing View Drive extension to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, and authorize the town manager to sign the contract on behalf of the town of Wendell, subject to the approval of debt issuance by the LGC.
All right. We have a motion to award the bid for the construction of Landing View Drive extension to the lowest responsible responsive bidder, and authorize town manager to sign the contract on behalf of the town, subject to the approval of the LGC. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, all in favor, Commissioner Boyette?
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner?
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnasky?
Aye.
Commissioner Deloach?
Aye.
And Commissioner Lutz?
Aye.
Thank you all.
So that passes unanimously. Item 6E is the International Food and Music Festival road closure request for September 25th, 2021. Going to hear from Ms. Smith again.
Good evening once again. International Food and Music Festival is planning on coming back to Wendell September 25th. As they have in the past, they are planning on closing a portion of South Cypress Street between the Town Square and the Women's Club lot. The event will run from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m., open to the public. ask the board to approve the road closure. The event, as with all other events right now, are subject to any relevant governor's orders or current health conditions. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the board?
Madam Mayor, I have a motion.
All right.
Motion to approve the temporary closure of a section of South Cypress Street on September the 25th, 2021.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the temporary closure. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, all in favor, Commissioner Boyette,
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner,
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnasky.
Aye.
Commissioner Deloach.
Aye.
And Commissioner Lutz.
Aye.
All right. Item 6F is the downtown facade grant submission for 36 through 42 North Main Street. I'm going to hear from Planning Director Brian Coates.
Yep. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners.
Good evening.
The next item before you is a facade grant request for the properties 36, 38, and 42 North Main Street. We're requesting action on the item. In summary, the applicant, Carter Kennemer, has applied for the 3 different addresses that make up the front of that building along North Main Street. It's for 3 of his 4 addresses. The building actually extends back towards Pine Street, so there's a warehouse portion that has a Pine Street address that's not part of this request. Separate addresses within a single building may qualify as separate facades if the tenants are different. In this case, the 3 tenants are different, and the building does contain various businesses. The town's downtown facade improvement does allow for projects that have started to apply for funding after they start. If they're considered larger projects, staff considers this a whole block renovation, so we do consider this a larger project. However, they cannot be completed prior to application. The applicant is still working on doing improvements to the building, additional paint work, repair and extension of the vintage copper gutters along 4th Street, and then eventually planned exterior renovations of the warehouse portion as well. The applicant is here tonight to answer any questions. Total estimated cost for the exterior facade improvements is roughly $56,782, broken down into 4 different categories. Site work, window and door replacements are the major bulk of it, some metal work on the exterior, and painting. The applicant did break down the costs. In your packet, there was a building sketch, which shows the percent and the portion of each frontage of each address. And so the applicant did break down those costs per facade by how much of the frontage they contain. So 36 North Main Street, roughly almost $18,000 total cost. Facade grant request is $5,000. 38 North Main Street, total cost $77,123. Facade request is $3,561. 42 North Main Street, total cost of $31,792. A good portion of that is windows along that portion of the building. Facade request is $5,000. At the time of the application, the downtown facade program permits a 50-50 matching of up to $5,000 per facade from the town to the applicant based on cost. The applicant did provide 2 quotes for the window and door replacements as well as the painting. However, the applicant was unable to get multiple quotes on some site work and the metal work. And I can have him explain that, but basically the projects were small and finding contractors right now can be very challenging to do some of the work. Here's some photos of before and after of what it looks like currently. Did a good bit of work on that frontage, total rehab of the exterior, not just a paint. Paint was just a portion of it. There was a lot of site work and window replacements, which are significant. And just some photos of that facade and what it looks like currently. It is key to note the Town of Wendell Appearance Commission at its August 2nd meeting did recommend approval with a unanimous vote, and staff is recommending approval as well. And the applicant is here if you have any additional questions.
Okay. Any questions from the board for Brian or the applicant?
I just wanted to say that, been by there, and it looks absolutely fantastic, an absolute improvement to a building that's frequented by a lot of people for various different reasons. I think it just looks amazing.
Yeah. Tremendous improvement.
Yeah, the
Thank you.
pictures may have been weeks apart, but it literally looked like they're decades apart, so,
Yeah.
it looks fantastic. So thank you.
Madam, Brandon, you may have hit it and I missed it. Is this coming out of the general fund?
So we have some funds still within the current fiscal year budget. We have one other project that was approved for $5,000. The remaining funds would come out of end-of-year budget amendment or the general fund if the funds are not available.
I'd agree with everybody else's comments, Madam Mayor, for a motion
Yeah.
to approve the downtown facade grant submission for 36 to 42 North Main Street.
All right, we have a motion to approve the downtown facade grant submission for 36, 38, and 42 North Main Street. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, Commissioner Boyette,
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner,
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnaski.
Aye.
Commissioner Deloach,
Aye.
and Commissioner Lutz.
Thank
All right,
you.
that passes unanimously. We'll move into item 7, our other business. Tonight, item 7A is update on board committee attendance by town board members. And we only have one, the Wendell Volunteer Fire Department Board of Directors, Commissioner Joyner.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Wendell Fire Department Board meeting has been rescheduled to this Thursday.
Okay. All right, Commissioners' comments. Commissioner Joyner?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The only comment that I received that I was gonna include in the fire department meeting, if we have one, was that, for those of you that judge, your response to things based on how other people are responding, the fire department has decided that within their building, they will wear masks at all times, kinda similar to what, town staff has decided here. So I just put that out there for your information, and that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Commissioner Boyette?
No comments tonight.
Commissioner Tarnaski?
No comment tonight, Mayor.
Commissioner Deloach?
A couple quick comments, Mayor, thank you. Just, I'm sure everybody knows this already, but, please take note, your trash pickup date may have changed. Received a few comments about this. Some folks have switched to Tuesdays. Some folks, their recycling date may have changed. We actually had a presentation on this at our Rotary Club meeting last week, so try to help get the information out. Go to the town's website for that. Plenty of information there. Reach out if you have any questions or concerns. And I will mention just how exciting it is to see new folks coming on board. It's no secret we're growing, and I think that we're hiring certainly specialized folks, but we're also hiring folks that are versatile and can work in a number of areas, and I think that's important for a town of our size. Again, we're growing, and coming into the meeting tonight with everybody outside, it's really cool to see. And I know that's just a tip of the iceberg, so to speak. That's Public Works. But thank you for everything you guys do. And I will mention real quick, worked the food bank this past week. I want to give a shout out to my buddies, Barrett, Julian, Omar, Zaire, and Braxton. They were 5 of the finest helpers. They were there with their grandmother, and they help, and it's cool to see young folks doing good and helping others. So that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Real quickly, I want to congratulate the East Wake High School summer graduates. I say all the time, the ones who maybe need one more class or have a little extra something that they've got to do demonstrate a lot of tenacity to stick in there and finish, and I'm very proud of them, and that was last week. So I congratulate them, and we can't wait to see all the great things that I'm sure that they're going to do in the world. This past week, I went to the Raleigh-Wake County Home Builders Association and gave a little presentation about Wendell. They typically invite me and the other Eastern Wake County mayors about February, but of course, we couldn't go do that this year, so they're kind of circling back and trying to catch up. And, it's real funny how it's kind of competitive, but not really, but kind of. And I got a lot of really nice compliments about our staff. Just could not say enough nice things about our planning department. Who's Brian still in here? Yeah, so thank you so much for the quick turnover, the quick turnaround, rather. People really, the builders really appreciate that, and they notice that, and it made us look good. You know, I always say we look really good anyhow, but it really gave me an opportunity to shine and made my job a lot easier, so thank you for that. I want to also, one more time, welcome the new employees that we have in our Public Works Department. I know it looked like a big, long line coming in here, but that was over a little period of time. We didn't just hire all these folks yesterday. So, this has been over a period of time, but this has been, we kind of set aside time to bring them in when there's a large enough group that it's worth doing that. So, I'm excited to have them, and we welcome them to Wendell. We have now, I need a motion to go into closed session.
Madam Mayor, make a motion to go into closed session in accordance with North Carolina General Statutes 143-318.11A, number 5, to establish or to instruct the public body staff or negotiating agents concerning the position to be taken by or on behalf of the public body in negotiating, 1, the price and other material terms of contract or proposed contract for the acquisition of real property by purchase, option, exchange, or lease, or 2, the amount of compensation and other material terms of an employment contract or proposed employment contract.
So, we have a motion to go into closed session. Commissioner Boyette?
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner?
Aye.
Commissioner Tarnaski?
Aye.
Commissioner Deloach?
Aye.
And Commissioner Lutz?
Aye.
All right.